Yeah.
I'm running. A warning at 15 minutes.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone.
No, so please practice using it.
Just
flick it up. Yeah. Just flick up.
Yeah.
Up.
My hands are sweaty, sorry.
Can you see it? Yeah. I don't know what's wrong with it.
Hello?
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go.
It takes a few seconds to turn into live.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I'll introduce my group. We are team Piwakawaka, and I'm Akashni, Catalina, Anuja, Cherry, and Fong. So I'll start by introducing our organization. So our organization is Lynn Garden. It's a public garden covering 2.5 hectares of land and garden area. It was created and run by volunteers. It's based in Lynn, and it was formed in 1981. So their main source of income is hiring of the community hall, the function area, and the meeting area. They also have a $3 visitor entry fee, which is used to maintain the plants, trees, and their butterfly house. I'll hand over to Anuja, and then she'll go over the empathy phase.
Yeah, good afternoon everyone, and thank you so much, Krishni. We had a first meeting with President Margaret in Newlyn Garden, and while talking with her, so we came under, like she spoke about 3 main problems. First is advertising, funding, and volunteers. So out of that, we focused on one problem, which is the volunteer problem, and now we are working on that how to solve this issue, how to give them a solution, and what else we can do for them. So now next I'll hand over to Kat, and she will explain you about the empathy mapping.
Hi everyone. So in one of our group meetings, we decided to do a empathy map of our 2 users. So we wanted to get the perspective of our president of Westland Garden, which is Margaret, and the other perspective was the volunteers. And so the empathy mapping is just a collaborative group work activity that we decided to do to find out what we know so far about our end users. So from Margaret, the president, we found out that she was feeling a bit tired because she was doing multiple jobs at Westland Garden. So she was doing admin work, she was also doing gardening, she was doing a lot of the advertising as well. And as we went along with the interview, during the interview, we realized she was always thinking about the customers. She was always bringing it up in the interviews as well. And what we found out so far from what she kept saying to us is that she emphasized the need for more plants in the garden, and also and she stressed not having enough funding. From volunteer, we feel that they would be thinking about technology because from the website, it's not really, it doesn't have that wow factor. And also what they do, we feel that they do a lot of chores, they do cleaning, they also deal with the advertising. And from a volunteer's perspective, we think that when they go to volunteer, they would be thinking about what can I get from volunteering at Westland Garden? And what they would be saying is probably, going to volunteer at Westland Garden, where are the rest of volunteers like me? Like, are there any students here as well? So, yeah. Now I'll hand it over to Cherry.
Hello everyone. After we send a lot of survey to the different volunteer, now we only receive the 2 feedback from the 2 volunteers at the moment. But at end of this week, I think we will finish all the survey, receive all the feedback. At the moment, so for the volunteer one, so her background is a AOT student, and also she working in 4 days on Saturday. She's in Western Garden already 4 years since her 15 years old. And why she come to Western Garden, she feel like started very stressed. She want to come to Western Garden to do make much more garden work and relax something. So another volunteer is a retail. She's partner recently passed away, and she feel nothing to do. It feels so boring. So she come to garden to work already 6 months. Also, why she want to spend some time with garden, because everything she come to garden she feel like very peaceful. Why? So she just decided to become volunteer in the Western Garden. Okay, now we pass to the phone for the next part.
Hi everyone. So the first step, we should amplify with volunteer. So we got the mapping here. We come up with some idea how to attack a volunteer, and we come up with some like solution, so we can connect to the community or school or university. So we can set up some workshop for volunteer to like have some experience, and we also can like offer some appreciation letter to thank for their service, or offer them some membership. Like for example, they can like spend their time on the garden with a family or friend, and we also got like idea give them some voucher or gift package for their volunteer, and the volunteer party. So someone just come in to get a social connection. So we think about like maybe make the party for them to get some social connection. And we also think about like put some posts on social media, like linker endorsement and Facebook post to attract more volunteer. And up to this point, we have something to do. Like we don't fully understand how the volunteer think about their job in Western Garden, so we need to interview more volunteer. And we also need to do some second research on other sources such as Google or other like volunteer company. And we need to get some feedback from volunteer to come up with a better like solution or idea. And that's it. Up to now, thank you for listening. Any question, comment?
Feedback? Feedback? Okay? Do you feel you're on the journey? You're proceeding down the design thinking pathway. I feel confident that you've engaged. You're starting to move down that design thinking process now. I'm seeing confident elements coming up there. Can you flick back to the slide which had all the post-it notes on?
Ideation.
No, the one before that one. The one on the personas. Yeah, that one there. Yeah. So can't quite read it, but we can see that you've done something there, and that's great to see you using the tools and using the post-its, and you distilled it into that next slide. But great to see all that. Great orchestration of the presentation, smartly done, smartly presented, and good timing and good sharing out of all the work amongst you. Yeah, good dress rehearsal. Yeah. Anything else that anybody else wants to say? All right. So you're going to dig deeper into some of those personas, maybe a few more, and then start to narrow down on some of the specific bits of the journey that you can add value to and hope to use as attraction. But I had one little idea, was talking about gifts, and it occurs to me one of the gifts that you could be giving would be could be gifts of plants or flowers from the garden, because that's low cost.
They just come up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, seedlings or even a packet of seeds, because that's cheap. Just yeah. So because then people can see, oh, where do I get? Because I go to the Hamilton Gardens. I don't know if anyone's been there. Those are absolutely fantastic. Do get to see those. And you go there and say, oh, what is this plant? How do I get some of it? Yeah, how do I make my garden look like that? But yeah. Fantastic. Any other comments from people? Any questions you want to ask us? No? Good. Very well done. Very well done. And excellent images in there.